more life than the other day.
Hey, it's Tuesday. It's Phil. How you doing? Welcome to Life in Longview. Beautiful weather out. Hope you guys had a good week. I did. It's been interesting. Always is my life. Welcome to it. We're still to co-host / do it when I don't want to do the show. And things happen. So if you're interested, you can give producers a shout out on our Facebook page, Life in Longview. And yeah, good times. I got a sheriff next to me, Sheriff Mark Nelson in Cowles County. Thanks for being here, Mark.
You're welcome.
We were
My
talking.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. We were talking about Mark and I have known each other a long time. Because our brother, you went to school with my brothers.
Yep.
So he was a captain in the reserves when I joined. So yeah, we did that, and then he just kind of climbed up the ladder.
I sort of just
And I kind of
kept going.
yeah, you're right. Here you are. Obviously, we got an election coming up. They say.
I heard a rumor
Yeah.
of that. Yes.
Rumor? Yeah. As your daughter was telling us about putting up signs in the wind today. I will get you on there. Don't worry about it. And anyway, glad you're here. I'm just lost right now. I got too many things running through my head, and I don't know if I can say them or not. Usually, no. It's March first.
If you're not admitting to anything, then you can legally say whatever.
I never admit to anything. Never have. That is one thing I learned from Brother Rick. Don't admit anything. Don't admit anything. You didn't do it then. I was interesting times. Anyway, mark your rib. This is what term number now?
I'm in my second term, coming
Okay.
up on the end of my second term. So
Okay.
I was originally appointed to the sheriff's position in 2009
Okay.
to finish out the term from Bill Mahoney when he retired during his term. So
Okay.
I finished out the last 15 months of Bill's term and then was elected in 2010 and then reelected in 2014.
Nice. So
So
now we're coming up to another one.
I'm counting on the public doing the same thing again.
You know, one thing I like about your agency is you don't hear about it in the news. Things run smooth when that happens.
The things that you do hear about, which you read about frequently, is the great job that the guys are doing.
Oh,
Um,
marvelous.
and by guys, I mean guys and gals. So I'll just use that.
Officers.
Yeah.
Deputies.
Deputies.
Ooh.
Yes.
I got that look. Man, I haven't gotten that look in years. But yeah, deputies. My dad.
So yeah, I mean, great work. Let me give you a quick example. Just
Okay.
one quick story, and this just happened. So several days ago, we had one of the deputies took a bike theft report, and a bicycle theft. Oh my gosh, what are you going to do with that? Somebody steals a bicycle and off they go. Well, this one had a couple of unique things about it. So he took the trouble to get a photograph from the owner of the bike, does the report, puts a picture of the bicycle on the board in the squad room.
Oh, nice.
So yesterday, this is how recent the story is. Yesterday, one of the deputies is out on patrol. He's actually was fueling up his patrol car, and he looks over and he sees this bicycle, and he goes, "That looks like the bike in the picture." So he looks at it and he says, "I'm pretty sure that's the bike in the picture." Guy comes out, he goes over, talks to the guy, goes, "Yeah, gosh, I got a great deal on this bicycle."
Of course you did.
Uh-huh.
There's your first sign.
That's a clue.
Yeah.
So anyway, he talks to him a little bit, and eventually the deputy gets the idea that this guy likely knew this bike was stolen.
Right.
So he tells the guy he's under arrest, and he takes the guy into custody. I think the guy was pretty surprised that he was going to go to jail for this possession of stolen property. But when they were getting ready to transport the guy had a little backpack.
Let me guess.
There was over a pound of methamphetamine in there.
A pound?
Yep. So nice.
Guy just riding on his bike. That's a nice pinch.
Nice pinch from a couple of guys taking a little extra effort.
Oh, correct.
And you know, I mean, it's that kind of work that the guys do that I'm so proud of them.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's
I mean, a simple bike theft goes into a pound of meth.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So pretty cool story, and
Yeah.
really proud of the guys for that little extra effort, and that's what it kind of pays off.
Well, you know, I went through some difficult times, and I was on the bridge, on the Rainier Bridge on the other side, and well, twice, unfortunately. But the first one, it was an LPD officer that knew me, goes, "Phil, you have a daughter," and snapped me out. The second one was one of your deputies. I can't remember his name because I wasn't really taking names at that moment. But he just came up to me and goes, "You want a cup of coffee?" Yeah. And got me, of course, had to put me in the back, which no big, I knew that.
Yeah.
We went into Burger King, and they had to make a pot of coffee, so he and I could have a cup of coffee. And it was really cool. You know, he's just like, "What's so bad?" And he sat and talked to me. You know, instead of taking me straight to St. John's and that, you know, and it was neat. That's one thing like I said, I wish I could remember his name, but I wasn't really into taking names that night. But
Sure.
it was just, I thought of that story today when I was thinking, you know, knowing I was going to interview you today, and it's just like, that was cool. It was just, you know, all calm, casual. Of course, when I got over the railing, the LPD officer wanted to tase me, and for some reason I turned and it bounced off. Wow, it doesn't happen often, I was told. Yeah, so I'm glad I didn't get tased. But yeah, he was just like, "You want a cup of coffee?"
You know, it's one of the things that's been very, very important for me, and it has been as long as I've been with the sheriff's office. But as long as I've been the sheriff, the priority for me has always been hiring people of good character.
Sure.
So people who truly care about people.
Yeah.
That's who we serve. That's what
Yeah.
we do. It's about the person. It's not just about the law.
Mm-hmm.
The law is there to help keep everybody safe.
Sure.
So not just there for the you know, to get bad guys. It's there to help people in the situation and circumstances that they are in,
Mm-hmm.
to keep the peace in our community. The job of the sheriff by law is to be the chief executive officer and conservator of the peace of the county.
Oh wow.
So that's
Your job.
that's the job description for the job of sheriff. So the goal is, let's keep the peace, and let's do what we can to help people in their circumstances maintain the peace, and that's for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I feel very, very strongly about that, and that's what I want my guys to do, and I believe that for the most part, that's what we do. We also hire humans.
Sure.
And they make mistakes.
Right.
And
Just because they put on a uniform doesn't make them not human.
it does not make them not human.
Yeah.
And God help the day when we have some system set up where humans, which include those characteristics of compassion and mercy and understanding and all of those things that are character traits that have to be built into each person.
Sure.
You know, God help us when the day comes when people no longer do that. If everything
I'm not
was,
around, to be honest. I mean,
I get that. Yeah. I mean, if everything just ran on this is the line. If you cross it, this is
Right.
the penalty, well, I guess you know where we'd all be.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. It's just, it was interesting. So I had some people over last night. And we were talking about the show. And, you know, I told them you were going to be on. And they go, well, are you nervous? No. Why would I be nervous? Well, he's the sheriff. Yeah, and the point is, and I've known him since he went to school with, you know. And I go, it's no big deal. And they were amazed that I've never been to jail. It's like I got some golden trophy. But isn't that, I mean, they go, what do you mean you've never been to jail? Well, I've never been arrested. Well, how do you do that? Well, you don't break any laws. Pretty simple. I mean, I think that's the way it's supposed to be. And I told them that too.
yeah.
But it was just, they were just amazed, you know. And
Yeah.
we think that every deputy, officer, state, or whatever, are just out to whatever. You know, they're out to be the mean guys. That, oh, I got beat up, but. You know, like some guy they shouted at a longview officer drove by and said, why are you doing that? Well, I don't like, well, he probably doesn't like you either, but don't do that at my house. Ever. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's interesting.
Well, it amazes me how people who dislike law enforcement or dislike their involvement with law enforcement tend to draw attention to themselves.
Yeah, and that's kind of stupid.
It's kind of like the guy whose driver's license is suspended and he's driving a ratty old beat up car that, you know, the lights don't work on. He doesn't signal. And they go, you know, and you go, well, why? You know, and then you get mad because you get stopped and you get arrested for driving while suspended. You know,
See, actually, it's the deputy's fault. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, exactly. We both know, you know.
we know that's not the majority.
No.
That's not the majority. But
Well,
those folks are out there.
when I was in uniform, being both security and with sheriff reserves, it was like, well, whatever you're going to give me, I'm going to give back. You know, you want to talk like humans? No problem. Let's do this easy. You want to be a jerk? Pretty good being a jerk. That's why I'm not a sheriff deputy right now, Mark. That's one of them. Just saying that. Anyway, no, it's just it's just, you know, we've said that for the last, you know, when my brother's doing it. You know, be it Jim Duchin on the PD or you, and I'm not sure your council chief is, but it says you don't hear about it, and that's good news.
Yeah. We got good people. They work hard.
I like how you promote within too. The staff you got around you now, I think is impressive.
They are. They're some exceptional people. Charlie Rosenzweig, my chief criminal deputy, has been with the agency for 40 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Still
One of the longest serving county employees that we have in the county, of all county employees. So he's been there 40 years. And all of that time with the sheriff's office. So that's a long time to be in law enforcement. Well, he does a fabulous job in his job. Now, Mark Gilchrist retired this year,
Right, you did that.
and I missed the heck out of him. But I've got a
Mark's
great,
a great guy.
I got a great guy in there now. He was one of my former sergeants, Corey Huffheim.
Okay, I know the name.
Corey's got 28 years in,
Really?
and 27, 28 years there. And so I've got a lot of real senior people in the agency, which is one of the things.
I went to school with Lisa.
Yep, Lisa's my chief.
Oh, is she? Nice.
So
Hi, Lisa.
great staff,
Yeah.
and they're all very hardworking,
Sure.
conscientious people. And of course, when you're talking about staff people, you have to have people that you really feel that you can trust.
Yeah.
And you go through, although you've got great people and you've got a good selection of people, you just got to find people that person that just sort of connects with you and clicks. So
So when you interview deputies or potential deputies, what do you look for?
So when I'm interviewing for a deputy's position, first of all, there's a panel of three of us, okay? Myself, the undersheriff, and the chief criminal deputy who look at and do the interview process with each potential deputy. I like to hear some background things. I like to hear them tell me about their family.
Sure.
Because I think that that's important. And then we talk to them about maybe some of the most significant events that happened in their life, and how they handled those, how they dealt with those. We talk about character. I like to ask people whether which they feel is more important, attitude or effort. It's just a question that I like.
I would say effort. I say this combination of two. That's a trick question, isn't it?
It's not. It's really. There's no right or wrong answer.
Oh, so I won. No.
So anyway, there's a series of questions that we go through, and that help us get to know them a little bit better, and through that, and then of course there's a lengthy background process that has already been gone through for us even to get to that position where we're doing an interview.
Now they go to the academy after hire, or
Yes. So the process, which is lengthy, they first apply, and we do all of our testing. We contract with Public Safety Testing, which is a company that does that. They actually contracted with different civil service organizations around. So and most that's who is used mostly in our local area here. So we contract with them. They get a score, and then depending on where they place on there, then we if their name is chosen, in other words, they rise up on the list high enough, then we start the background process. They come in for an initial interview. They fill out a background packet, fill out all the information, and we put a lot of effort and a lot of time and money into that background process.
Oh, yeah.
They're investigated by detectives or people who are trained in doing backgrounds, because we need to know if there's dirt in the corner, if there's dirt swept under the rug.
You need to know that.
We want to lift up those rugs
Absolutely.
and know what's there. That doesn't mean that if a person has a few things in their past that they're automatically eliminated. If they didn't tell about them,
Well, yeah, and you find out about it.
then they're
Yes.
eliminated. But if somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I had this going on, 5-10 years ago or whatever in my life,"
Teenager.
and they talk about it, and we go through it, then quite honestly, I give those people some. So I still will give those people serious consideration, and some of them we've hired.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has to pass.
And I like somebody who's maybe had a honesty at first and foremost.
Right.
But then, a few people who have maybe had a few bumps in the road, and how they
can relate
done, in life since that happened. So sometimes you want somebody who's got a little bit of life under their belt.
Sure. Everyone starts some. Do you have? I mean, a lot of them. Do you have a lot of them? You don't have a lot of movement in your. What I mean, some deputies go, but I mean, it's not a huge turnover. Right?
We do not have a big turnover. One of the things, if I might kind of slip a little bit into some of the issues that have been brought up lately, have talked about my leadership and management and those kinds of things. And honestly, not only people don't leave the sheriff's office. We've had a few people that have gone to other law enforcement agencies. We had a couple of them that that left and came back.
So he said,
But
oh yeah, that felt good.
but you know, for the most part, they don't leave the sheriff's office. They retire from there.
Nice.
We've even had some local guys, some people from other agencies within our area. In the last couple of years, we've had 4 that have come to work for the sheriff's office.
Really?
Now, those things, I gotta say, you know, are not indicative of an agency that is poorly run or bad management or shows lack of leadership.
Well, it must
I'll
make you
just
feel
make
good
that
that they want to come to be a sheriff there.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that
Yep.
that should mean a lot to you.
And they have an opportunity to, if they have issues or they got questions, they are given an opportunity. I sit down I'm sitting right across the table from them. And if they've got questions about my management style or the way that I do things, they have every opportunity to ask those. So, you know, I'm not offended by somebody coming up and saying, tell me why, explain this to me. That doesn't offend me. I'm not bothered by that.
All right. And then you explain how you do it.
Sure, yeah.
Have you had an opportunity where you said, yeah, you're right, and brought it into your plan, or
There are lots of
ideas from your deputies?
I've got a lot of smart guys.
We do.
And I think maybe the smartest guy is recognizing how smart the people are around him.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of really smart people and with good ideas. I value those ideas considerably. I also, being in the position that I am in, have a different view. I have a different perspective, and I look at it like this: if you're starting off on a hike, you're down in the woods and you're headed through the woods. All you can see is the bottom of the trees. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
You start up that hill and you get to the top of where the trees are. Now you can see the top of the tree. You can see that it goes out a long ways, but you still don't really have a perspective. It's different than the one you had.
Right.
But the further up you get, the more expanded is your view, and you have a much greater view and a much greater appreciation and understanding of where you are and what's going on and all that sort of thing. So I say all that because I have a different view. So when I get good ideas that come in from my guys, from my staff, I get to look at those and evaluate those and make a decision, because somebody in the end has to decide. And
it's just on your desk.
And I've got great staff. I mean, most of the decisions are made by my managers. But when it's time, I'm not afraid to make those decisions. I've been doing that. I've been a sergeant, right? I've been a manager. I've been a captain, and I've been the sheriff for nearly a decade.
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid to make those decisions. I'm accustomed to making those decisions. And so anyway, I guess the short answer, which I made really long,
Well, that's good though.
was that I understand, have a different perspective.
Sure.
So I get to make that decision of what's best for the citizens, what's best for the sheriff's office.
And does that go in that order?
Those things, well,
I mean,
in the end, it's always got to be what's best for the citizens.
sure.
That's who we work for. That's who we serve.
All right.
So, yeah. In the end, that's got to be who it's all about.
That's cool. Because I see a lot of people, I don't think realize that. I mean, even as I didn't realize that, you know, and it's interesting. We're gonna go to history now. The last time you were on, you told some history stories that I was just like, for me to be speechless takes a lot. For any safety to be speechless, it takes a lot.
I'm not sure I've ever really seen that.
Well, yeah, well, you don't know. What can I say? But the history that you know of Couch County is amazing. You know,
So what kind of history are you talking about? I had fun a couple of weeks ago. I had an opportunity to go out and speak at the Stella Historical Society.
nice.
And that was a lot of fun. And got to talk about some of the things around Stella as of course an early community here. And
It was a community.
and even well, it was a thriving community before the highway even connected all the way to the coast.
Uh-huh.
You know, you got to remember that was all just rough road along the slough out there.
That'd be fun, Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty much horse and wagon
Yeah.
road out there. You know, it was years and years later before they went through actually connected to the coast. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, I mean, I joked about the days of the old Stella Tavern out there. You know,
I remember those.
I can remember.
Mhm.
I can remember flying out there in a patrol car, and you know, there'd be 20 guys out fighting in the middle of Ocean Beach Highway.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know, it was, and at the time, you just sort of gather everybody up, pick them up, tell them to knock it off. Maybe if there was one guy who was too drunk and too goofy to take care of himself, you know, he might end up going to jail if he'd done something really stupid. But
Sure.
other than that, you sort of dusted everybody off, said, okay,
Let's not do this
go
again.
away, friends.
Go away.
And,
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow.
And go, you know, yeah. So
So, as being the local guy, when you were out on patrol and stuff, I'm sure you had to check. Well, you talked about pulling over your wife. Bad call, by the way. Just saying, bad call. I even knew that. But you run into people officially that you've known since grade school or high school. Or,
Yep. I remember a guy that I had graduated with, and I won't mention any names,
no names.
but I ended up arresting him for DUI, and we kept it professional and went through the process, and you know, I explained what I was doing, and I explained why I was doing it, and that, you know, I was doing that for his safety,
Sure.
and for the safety of the other people in the community.
Yeah.
And that's what it was about. And
Nothing personal.
you know, it's hard to say it's not personal, because it is something that's happening to them.
Yep. That's all. Yeah.
So really, it's not that it's not personal,
Mhm.
but I'm going to treat this person with dignity and respect through the process.
Right.
I can't change the process,
No.
but I
But
can treat you. I can treat you with dignity, and I can treat you with respect, even in the mistake that you made, because everybody makes them.
Sure.
Some people make really serious mistakes, and it has serious impact.
But everyone makes choices.
But they do make choices, and you have to deal with those. And you know what? I've seen the guy since, and
Yeah.
we're fine. It's
Sure.
good. It's all good.
Job, it's business, it's, yeah.
So, but yes, you do run into people, and people will call you who have problems or who have a specific issue, and they're hoping that you can help them out and deal with them.
And
Yeah,
what the RCW says.
Part of that is, well, here's what we have to work with.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it is pretty interesting when you're dealing with, working in a community that you were born in.
Yeah.
Literally, I was born here.
Yeah, me too.
And raised here. And this is my home, and these are my neighbors and friends. So, yeah, there's a lot of history here. And I think back on other people that have grown up here. And, my parents were not born here, but my mother spent the majority of her life here. And at 93, she has a pretty good. She's pretty high up that mountain. She's got a pretty good perspective.
Good view.
Get good view of how things are and what's changed around here. So a lot of things have changed for the good. So a lot of really good things that are happening around here. I think we've got we've got businesses that are locating or want to locate here. We've got, the job market has improved. We still need more housing. We need improvement with transportation. All of those things that are currently going on, and we've got people who are working on those, are all improving what we have here in Cowlitz County. And, I think over the next few years, we've got a lot to look forward to. It'll be some very, very good things.
Well, it's exciting because, what Cowlitz County went through tough times and still going through some tough times. But I moved around different places, but I always end up back home.
Yep.
Back in Cowlitz County.
Yeah.
This is home. I do like the way you have done the control rates. You've added some specialties, the green, more green, and I like the light bursting. Now you get to pick those out, right?
I did.
I
I did pick those out, and then, or I should say, approve those.
approved?
They're, the design and all that kind of stuff was presented. Actually, one of the guys came up with the design, and we were talking about it, and I told him, I said, one of the double green stripe is always been there for decades.
Sure.
And I said, I'd like to keep that double green stripe.
Right.
It doesn't have to look just like that. So they came up with the double green kind of swoosh down the side. And I was like, I really like that.
Yeah. Well, it looks good. I mean, patrol cars look good. They take care of them. They're in good shape.
Yep.
About how rough they get.
Yeah, we're doing really well. I mean, the guys take good care of their cars because that's their office. That's where they work, spend a good portion of their time. So it's like taking care of their trusty steed because they know that when they need it, they need it to perform top performance.
Exactly. But no, I was just noticing that because I see it. I noticed it.
Sure, yeah.
It's just like, I like that. That's a good look. Uniforms changed.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
Is that just nationwide thing or?
No,
you
not
just decided to
necessarily.
change it?
Actually, that change took place. Under Sheriff Mahoney.
Okay.
We've had a few other things that have happened since then with the outer vest carriers that the guys are wearing now. They're more comfortable. There's more. They can have better access to their equipment. They can keep a few extra things on their vest that they could not.
They used to be on the belt.
They were either on the belt or they just didn't get to carry them.
Yeah.
Because unless you're a guy like me who has more belt space.
Okay. Very nice. I'm going to have to remember that one. More belt
space. See, that's
good.
Batman can only keep a few things on his belt.
Oh yeah.
But a guy like me, I can keep a lot of stuff.
That. Me too.
So I got Batman beat, I think. Just with stuff on my belt. So anyhow, Yeah, so it's nice, it's nice, it helps distribute the weight more evenly,
Right.
which is healthier for the guys on
Sure.
their back. The look, I'm more traditional uniform look,
Yeah, yeah.
but I get it, I understand that it's something that's better for the guys, and so that's
For
why.
the comfort or?
That's why I approved it. Well,
Or just,
both comfort and for their health.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's better on their back, because the weight is more evenly carried, and so anyway, that, like I said, that's why I approved that.
that's good. That's good, because, yeah, I noticed it looked more comfortable.
Yeah.
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 And people, go, why do you notice that thing? Well,
Yeah.
Why do I notice a lot of things? But, so let's go back here. We're going, I'm going to get you.
All right.
You know a lot about Cowles County history. Like I said, last time you were here, I was just a no. It's just, so was that just, okay, now let's wait for that one. The question I had is, if you were in law enforcement, what would you be doing? Or is that hard to answer?
I'd be doing whatever God told me to do.
Yeah, no,
I'd be doing wherever He took me. I think I'd probably be pastoring.
That's what I was thinking too.
It's always, my faith is very important to me,
Mhm.
and I think that's probably what I would be doing. I don't do as much. I don't do as much singing as except for the national anthem
At the rodeos every year,
at the
and the
rodeo.
Blackbirds, and yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's 50%.
I probably did 20. I probably did 20 more performances of the national anthem last year,
Really? Wow.
at a variety of events, and even there was a small group of citizens. There was about probably 10 or 12 people,
Mhm.
and they wanted to do something special and patriotic, and this lady just called me up and asked me if I would sing the national anthem. And I said yes. I mean, it is such an incredible honor to do our nation's anthem, and to be asked to do it. That unless I just can't do it for whatever reason, I'll be there, and I'll do it. So anyway, I showed up at this little place that's about half the size of this room here, and did the national anthem for them. For their little group, just stopped in, was there for a half hour, and sang, and
they loved it.
and then I was done. So
That's neat.
just to add to part of their event. So
That's neat.
it was important to me. But yeah, I mean, I've been very, very, very involved in the community. I think probably most recently, not only just with singing the anthem, but most recently with the purpose of trying to work with and deal with the homelessness and the opioid crisis, some of the drug issues that we have here. Our numbers are better now than they were back even in 2015, 16, when we were the highest rated number of deaths per capita. Related deaths per capita in the state.
Is that in the state or?
Yes, it was in the state.
Wow.
But our numbers have improved considerably since then, and they continue to improve.
So
So,
what do you think caused that?
well, there's a lot of things that I think have helped that. What's caused it, or what did
Or
cause it?
what, how, I mean, yeah,
What caused the decrease?
yeah.
Is it, I think knowledge, I think education, getting information out to the people.
Yep.
We've stepped up treatment and prevention efforts in the community. And I think some of it is the issuance of Narcan to a lot of the first responders.
So that gives it right out.
What it does is it is it takes the effect out of the opioid, and but if that's not continued, if they're not doing that, it's like you can't just give that to someone and then walk away from it.
No,
Because in
yeah,
20 minutes they could be right back in it and shut them right down and all that. It is not a one-shot fix. It is one shot to keep them alive long enough to get them to medical help. So those things I think are important. But what we're doing, we've got work groups that are happening. We had an opioid summit here a couple of weeks ago where professional folks came. I was part of the panel that spoke at that event. I did not get to stay because we were also in the middle of that search for the missing hiker on Mount St. Helens. That was the day that he was found. I left there to head up to the mountain. But participating in that with the number of people, professionals in our community, health professionals, mental health professionals, doctors, dentists, pediatricians, counselors, school administrators, you name it. We had those people who were there, and the reason why they were there is because they care about this community.
Oh yeah.
And putting together I guess talking about the plans. One of the town halls that we did, and I think I talked about the town halls that we were doing last time I was here. So
That was a different show.
a couple of years ago, I did I put together a committee in our community, the what if community, committee, which is basically, what if we did things different? What if we did X? What if we did this or did that?
Right.
What kind of an impact could we make in our community? Because even a little impact can have a big effect.
Oh yeah.
You can take a little tiny rock, throw it into a big pond.
Right.
It's still going to ripple
Right.
across that pond. It doesn't have to be a boulder.
No.
You
Just
can,
a little-
you can take a little tiny rock and throw it in there, and it is going to
So
create a ripple.
with the more education stuff, the ripple.
So the idea is that what little thing can we do? Can you do?
Mm-hmm.
Can you do something today? One little thing for somebody
Yeah.
that might help make their life a little bit better. And if you can, then you can do that. We end up with a better world all around.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the purpose of this committee. Out of that committee, as we talked about things, one of the things we wanted to do was give each community an opportunity to talk about the drug issue in our county. And that was going to happen through a series of three things. Our first one, we talk about education. The next one, we talk about prevention. The next one, we talk about treatment. What can we do in our community to help those things? And we talk about what those things are, what we have in our community for education and treatment and prevention, and are there things that we can do to improve it?
Sure.
So we did 3 in Castle Rock. We did 3 for the north part of the county.
Right.
We did 3 here locally in Longview, Kelso. And this fall we'll be doing 3 more starting in October in Woodland.
Down south.
Yeah, there's another.
So we've had several hundred people that have been part of those. Of each of those, and it's just a way to engage the community in an issue that that we're all dealing with. It impacts all of us, but we can make it better.
Final question: when you retire,
In about
you should try it. It's really
a
nice.
little over 4 years.
Got it down, huh? You got it down to the minute, I bet.
Well,
Just saying.
I'm just
Just
hoping,
saying.
I'm planning on working another 4 years,
That'd
right?
be good. Nice little segue on that one. So what do you want Mark Nelson as legacy, Mark Nelson? As sheriff?
my legacy.
I dug deep for that one.
I don't know that I guess if I want to, if any
What would you want
legacy
to-
that I have to be remembered,
Yeah.
as a public servant.
And you are-
I want to be remembered somebody who served the public, and my citizens and my neighbors and my friends.
Yeah, that's neat. Thanks for your Mark. Enjoyed it. I had trouble with it. I go, are you gonna call him Sheriff Dawson? I said, I'm never calling him Sheriff Dawson. Why would I start? Anyway, Cowles County Sheriff, we got a good one.
He'll be back the 30th of October.
30th of October, I guess we'll see you again.
I guess I'll
Round
be back the
three.
30th of October.
I guess I might dig deeper. I might actually got to go on and Google.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. We come up with some scary stuff. All right.
Don't do mine either. Yeah, just saying. We got shout outs, of course, Rachel, California, love you, Rachel. MB Fontana, Olympia, I hope you film better. Bonnie Jeffers, Vancouver. Susan Williams from England. Oh, yeah, we're big time. Vitalis from Kenya,
for me.
Africa. Robin Davis from Idaho. We know Robin.
We do know.
Yeah. Hi, Robin. Connie Chitwood Sneed, Winlock. This is sounding like your county, isn't it? What's up for England? Where am I? Lorena Foster Worth from Vader. Candy Kane, Seattle, Washington. We're coming up in October. I'm looking forward to it. You will be on the air with your husband. Debbie Fall Hunter from Vancouver. Steve Lloyd, remember Steve Lloyd, KGW? Yeah, Steve Lloyd from Vancouver.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, trying to get you as a guest, Steve. The same. Doug Knapp, Monroe, Washington. Sherry Ernest Hutton, Longview. Love you, Sherry. Don Burcombe from Grand Forks, North Dakota. Rick Wright from Columbia, South Carolina. Carol Ware from Bremerton, Washington. Connie Ditcher from Cleveland, Georgia. And Penny Gilbert Baker, Las Vegas. Appreciate you watching.
Thanks for
Appreciate
being
all
here.
you do, Mark. You're a good man. You got a good department. We'll see you next Tuesday, live from Longview. Have a good week. Bye. No, we can turn this off. No.
But turn you on.
Yeah, when he comes back for the 30th, have him talk about his goals.
Cheers.
Or,